Woo! Hey everybody, Jim Sams here, the Kayak Fishing Show live. Have not done one of these in several weeks. We were doing the every Tuesday, Thursday, airing the older episodes of the show. Kind of got into doing some projects around the house, some projects on my Sprinter, got a little bit of fishing. Basically just took a break from it. Stepped a little bit away from social media, kind of tired of politics and all that nonsense. Enjoyed a lot of baseball. Unfortunately, our Padres are no longer in it. So now we're just rooting against the Dodgers and always rooting against the Chargers. So, but now ready to get back to it. So I just wanted to come on here, kind of give an update. We're not going to do one of the episodes today, but I just want to let you know, we're going to get back to that starting next Tuesday. So starting next Tuesday and again on Thursday, we will be airing our older episodes with live commentary. I really enjoy doing those. It's always a great way to kind of look back on our past. We've been doing these, been on the air for 11 years, and hopefully someday, we're going to be able to start shooting again and start shooting for season 12. So until then, I'm growing this and I'm growing this. I told my wife I'm not cutting my hair until I can travel again. So hopefully I get to travel again, because it actually is driving me crazy. Hey, Lisa and Eddie from PAC. Thanks for checking in. I hope you guys are doing well. I know it's like you guys have just gotten your ass kicked repeatedly this year. And it is such a cool destination. If you guys have never been there or are curious about it, look up PAC Kayak Rentals in Louisiana. You would never regret going there. The redfish fishing there is incredible, and the people there are so cool. And I really appreciate you guys checking in. And every time a dang hurricane goes through that area, I think about you guys. My daughter actually lived in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, until just literally days before this last hurricane. She finally moved from Louisiana and now is in Colorado. But and just like this has been a tough year. But the times I've been there, it's an absolutely cool place, and I really enjoyed you guys' hospitality. We have a couple people checking here as well. Douglas from Brazil, thanks for joining us, man. I do appreciate it. Ask Me says, let's do this. Okay. And he's watching over there, just like Liam Young is watching from Kayak Fishing Tales, our YouTube channel. So I really appreciate you watching from over there. Zach, thanks for checking in as always. Hope you're doing good. I saw a report that you posted, looked like an Islander trip. Was that like a recent one? Those are just such great trips and so much fun. Grant from New Zealand, one of my favorite places in the world, New Zealand. That's another place I need to get back to. I need to get traveling again. I need to get on the road and visit my friends around the world and just go fishing for fish around the world. You know what I mean? Bottom Line Bassin, how you doing? Mike McKenna, how you doing from Texas? Yeah, haven't seen me in a while. Like I said, so I kind of lost motivation, honestly, so it was good for me to get kind of focused on some other stuff for a while. Like I said, we had some home repairs had to be dealt with, and did some work on my Sprinter. Like I said, put bigger wheels and tires on it, bigger brakes, some other stuff. So, just little stuff kept me busy. Went hoop netting a couple of times, went calico bass fishing a couple of times. I still haven't been on my kayak at all. My back is still not really 100%. So boat fishing is a little bit easier on the back than kayak fishing at this moment, but hoping to get back to it and get myself back in paddling shape. Went hoop netting last week and did fairly well. Went last night with my buddy Matt, and it was kind of a weird night. We got there fairly early, set up our traps, and we're hoop netting in San Diego Bay, and we set up our hoops on the Navy side of the bay. And then another boat came in and set up inside of us, so closer to shore. And you have to be a certain distance from shore per the Navy, or Navy security comes and pushes you away. So this other boat came in and set up inside of us and close to us, but inside of us, which of course drew the attention of Navy security. They came over and pushed us all out, which was a shame because that first set, we got 4 really nice big lobster. And so we're like, oh, this spot's going to be hot. It's really going to start crawling, because that first pull was pretty early. And so we moved farther out into deeper water, and it just was nothing. It just shut down. Tried a couple different places, and we just never got on them again. So we ended up with 5 pretty good sized ones. But when you got 3 guys on the boat, that's not quite enough. But they were nice sized ones. It was actually pretty fun. Is my nephew, he graduated film school recently, and I've been talking to him about shooting some stuff with me. So just last minute, we said, hey, grab your camera, see if we can shoot a little segment on hoop netting. So I just said, do it, put it all together. You edit it, act like you're putting an episode of a show together. And then we can use that as your resume, if you will, for my producer to see if he wants to use them if we do any shoots locally. So, but it was fun. It was just fun goofing around with my nephew. And I said, it's always the thing. If you've never been hoop netting, the fun thing is you basically go out there, drop your nets, and then we usually bring fishing rods and then fish while the hoops are soaking, and then swing around and pull them. Last night, we were loading up all the gear and I forgot my fishing rod. So instead, we drank a couple beers and just, like I said, you're sitting on a boat. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening. And I mean, basically just like behind me, that's how it looked. I mean, that's San Diego Bay right behind me. And it was just a nice, calm, beautiful evening. So you just sit on the boat and shoot the shit and drink a few beers and go pull your traps and get a little bit of workout pulling the traps. But really, really fun time on the water. So I think we'll be doing a little bit more of it this year. I did a little bit last year. It's a lot better to do it off the boat than the kayaks. Guys do it off the kayaks, but I'm telling you, if you hoop net in San Diego Bay off your kayak, light yourself up better, because I've seen kayaks out there, and they're freaking invisible. And then you got boats that are hauling butt around, going and pulling their traps and stuff. I mean, it scares me looking at those kayaks out there, and they'll have one little tiny light, if that, or just a headlight on their head, so you're not seeing them from the back. So get yourself a nice tall light. The VisiCarbon Pro is pretty good, but at least it's above your head, so it can be seen from every direction, because it kind of scares me. Like I said, we're on the boat, and I'm hyper aware of kayaks, of course, and they're very hard to see, And you add some boat chop and swell or anything like that, it's impossible. So anyway, like I said, we got some great. Not a lot of them, but the ones we got were really, really nice size. So I'll be having lobster for dinner tonight. Andrew, how you doing? Good to see you, man. I am doing well. Just need my back to get a little bit better. I said I need to get back on the kayak. If nothing else, I need just to get out paddling. The whole COVID thing, my goat's getting longer, my hair's getting longer, and my belly's getting bigger. Ron, how you doing from Alabama? Rob from Beeville, Texas. Thanks for joining us. Zach, you said it was this past June. Such a rad trip. Yeah, if you guys haven't been on one of the island or mothership trips out to San Clemente Island, I'm getting a spam call. If you haven't been on an island or trip to San Clemente Island, you're missing out. I mean, the crew is amazing. The food is fantastic. The island is just such a great fishery. I know a lot of guys like from Northern California come down and they want to catch yellowtail down there. But for me, because I catch yellowtail here. I go out to that island to go calico bass fishing. And the calico bass fishing, you have truly the chance to get a 10-pounder out there. It's absolutely amazing for calico bass fishing. And then also, like I said, you can't get the yellowtail, the white sea bass. I guess, was it last year? Some of the guys were fishing just off the island and everybody got destroyed by big bluefin tuna because they just weren't geared for it. Ron, have I ever fished Watauga River near, I can't even say it, so obviously I've never fished it. Sean from Australia, thanks for joining us. I love Australia. I mean, I've been in the airport. I want to go. I've seen some amazing spots. The thing is, a lot of the fishing I see in Australia is like they're catching brim or whatever. It's like, and flatheads. And it's like, that doesn't look all that appealing. But go to the other coast where there's some bigger fish or a big barramundi. That sounds really intriguing to me. I'd love to do that. Jeff, thanks for loving our show. I love your show. And Bottom Line Bass says he gained 20 since COVID. I actually put some weight on. I have gone the other way. I have lost a few back, but I'm not back to where I was, and I'm certainly not to where I need to be. So, like I said, I just hopefully the back gets to a position where I feel like I can paddle. Just got to work up to it gradually. But I'm just honest. I haven't even felt like I wanted to deal with my kayak. And I've got the boat, so it's like, I don't have to lift my boat. So right now I'm spending more time on the boat when I've been able to get out on the water. But like I said, that's going to change. We're going to get back to it. And hopefully all this stupid, ridiculous COVID nonsense goes away and people open up their eyes and realize that we don't need to be sitting at home. And travel starts to open up. I think I posted, actually, Panama is opening up. They do have some regulations. And I posted it up the other day. And so, places and operations like Paddle Panama, Los Busos, which is so cool, and such a great staff down there. You can go, but you got to follow the rules. You got to get tested beforehand, and there's some other stuff. But like I said, I posted it a few days ago. So if you want to hit the road to Panama, that's open. I'm still looking to get back to Puerto Rico. I've been talking to those guys quite a bit, and we had planned a trip there before all this happened. So hopefully we can get that one put together. I'm guessing more than likely, if I do start shooting again, it's probably going to be more domestic this year. And then we can start, branching out to our normal travel stuff. So anyway, one of the other things, and one of the reasons I wanted to come on today is have a little unboxing here. Always looking for ways to store my fishing rods, whether it's in my garage or in my Sprinter. I have in my Sprinter. I did a walkthrough of my Sprinter van a long time ago, but I've got a big sliding drawer, and it's 8 feet long. Well, probably the interior of it's a little less than 7 foot. But I can get my fishing rods all inside of that, except for the long rods. So I'm always looking for a way that I can put my longer rods in there so they're not, bouncing around on the floor of the Sprinter or anything like that. But also for, like I said, in the ceiling of the garage, I have a lot of fishing rods, or in a rack. Now I've got, there was a tackle shop went out of business a few years ago, and I actually bought some of their display racks. And so I have a bunch of my rods on there, but they kind of take up a lot of room. So I got approached by this company, Piranha Rod Rack, and they asked if I was interested in looking at their product. And I said, sure, because I really have been looking for a good way to mount my rods, again, in either the roof or on the inside of the Sprinter. And they have a rod rack that I'm thinking might work, because I've got one in there that I made from actually a rod rack from a Blue Sky Boatworks Angler 360. And it just doesn't work that great. I mean, I can hold a couple of rods on it, but it doesn't work exactly how I want it to. So they sent me one of their roof racks and one of their wall racks. So got them right here they're still boxed. I haven't opened up or looked at them. So I figured I would open them up and take a look right here. So again, these are Piranha Rod Racks. Let's see, this is the wall mount rod rack that I'm opening here. And from looking at, oh, my knife just closed on my finger. No blood. Wow, they're fairly long. This is again, the wall mount. Appears to come with all the mounting hardware that you would need. There's some weight to it. This is metal, but it seems to be like it's covered with rubber or a vinyl or whatever, a nylon. But the interesting thing about this one is it's just the wall mount for the rod rack. You can kind of see it in that picture, actually. So it's just where you attach the rod up here, up high, and then the butts are suspended. So they're hanging. It's only the single rack. So it's not sitting on anything on the butt. And you can see there's different sizes. And because they're V-shaped, it looks like you kind of wedge them in. But then the neat thing, and maybe this picture will show it a little better, so you can see how the butts are at different heights. So you can fit a lot of rods together in a close area because the rod butts are different heights. So let me see if I can open this thing. I hate this type of packaging. You know, it's just all this plastic stuff that you end up cutting yourself while you're trying to cut it without damaging anything or cutting my leg. I've got a section of a rod here. So I figured I could see exactly how it kind of wedges in there and at different heights. Come on. Get out of there. Here we go. So yeah, I mean, it's burly. So this is not something lightweight that's going to be falling apart. That's for sure. It's got the holes in it right there and right there. I'm assuming that those are 16 inches on center, which means they are the right size for hitting the studs in your wall if they're set up properly. But the reason I brought a rod in here was I wanted to see if it would fit at different heights. And because it's that rubber, it just grabs it. Look at that. So like I said, that there's the different size gaps. So I could go, narrow rod all the way there up near the tip to have it at one spot, or use the bigger one right there. And I'm guessing you'd probably do it so you're right below a guide. But it wedges in there. I mean, it feels nice and secure. Got to get it at the right. Oh, that's one of the narrow ones. No wonder what won't fit. But I mean, all the way down to the fattest part of the rod, it kind of wedges in there. So that's cool. That'll be a nice addition. I need one for in the garage. I may actually just hang that on the wall in my office because I'm always looking for a place to hang some more rods. So maybe in here. I am actually in my office. I'm not on San Diego Bay. So now the other one is the one I'm most interested in because I do have some space on my ceiling of my garage. And I also, like I said, this is the one I was wanting to look at for the Sprinter. Barbecue shears for those packs. Yeah, well, that would make too much sense. I have to have a old knife that I might cut myself with. Rob, mine are all stacked in the corner of the room. Yeah, Rob, I've got, at last count, I had 128 fishing rods. So that would make a big pile. So yeah, that's I need something a little easier to sort rods so I can see what I want, because I've got so many different rods, the fly rods, the my conventional stuff, and to light spinners, to small bait casters, to bigger offshore stuff. So Sean Ello, in Australia, we got big jewfish, kingfish, and the brimfish put up a good fight. Or bream. Is it bream? I guess bream. Maybe it's brim. I don't know. Keegan, I'm new. What is this about? This is about kayak fishing. This is the Kayak Fishing Show. We have our TV show. So generally speaking, like I said, normally people come on here. We do question and answers. We get sponsors on here all the time. And then we, every Tuesday and Thursday, we air full-length episodes of the TV show with live commentary. So that's what we got going on. What is the cost? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to look it up right now, because I looked at it earlier and now I can't remember. The wall mount is $20. So that's pretty affordable, $20. The ceiling mount is $39.99, because obviously the ceiling mount is, to do that, you have a pair of rod holders to hold up both ends. So let's take a look at that one. That's, like I said, that's the one I was most intrigued with. I think that's going to come into play. I'm hoping it's not too long to fit in the space I need in it. Wow, they're heavy. Again, these are not made out of plastic. These things are metal. Oh, that might be a little too long. I'm gonna have to look at the space I have in the Sprinter. But yeah, I mean they're heavy. Let's open this one up and get a better look at it. I was kind of concerned, because you can never tell looking at a picture online. I was a little concerned that the area for the rod butt might not be big enough for some of the bigger rods, but my garage doesn't have a real high ceiling. So, some of my longer rods, some, 8.5, 9-foot rods, standing them up in one of the racks I have just doesn't work that well. So for those rods, I wanted to have a ceiling rack, and this will be perfect for that. Again, some of the biggest rods, I'm not sure if that butthole. I said butthole. That hole for the rod butt may not be big enough, but so you basically hang them like this, the rod butt at one side and the rod tip going the other. So you can mount your rods, alternating one way versus the other. But it's nice and heavy. I mean, that's going to be strong. You're not going to have to worry about that breaking or anything while it's hanging up there. It might be a hair too long up for the inside of my Sprinter. I will definitely have to take a look at that, because in the Sprinter, obviously I would put it on the wall like this. So, the rod's not going to jump out of here. And then you have the rod butt on the other end. It's pretty big. Let's see. I've got a rod here, and I don't think it has a very big butt on it. Just some of my offshore trolling stuff and some of my really long rods have fairly large. Yeah, see, that's not a big butt at all. That's a lot of room in there. So, but I'm telling you, that is not cheaply made. And this is the same. It's all that, it's metal, and then this rubbery vinyl, whatever you want to call it, coating. Rod asks, what is the company that makes that? It is Piranha Fishing Rod Racks. Let me do this. Let me do that. Okay, so there's their website. You can see how I'm going to get out the whole screen, but you can see how I mean, those look like they're fairly large rod butts in that photo. And then you can see how the other one, how the rods are all suspended from side to side. So, but yeah, Piranha Fishing Rod Racks by Green Touch Industries. Although you won't find Green Touch Industries as a website under that name. It was kind of hard to find. So if you just look up Piranha Fishing Rod Racks, you'll find them pretty easily. That's how I found them. But I think, like I said, definitely in the ceiling of the garage. I'm not sure about the Sprinter yet. I will have to go and measure that out because, like I said, I don't know if I have quite that much room. Bring me back there. So, Pam, I have to be careful not to have too many more rods than hubby has golf clubs and bags. Yeah, but you mean you're only allowed to have so many golf clubs. You only need so many golf clubs. You need a lot. I mean, you need a lot of fishing rods for all the different styles of fishing you're doing. You know, the types of lures you're throwing, whether you're trolling, whether you're casting. I mean, there's a lot of excuses to have a lot more fishing rods than golf clubs, in my opinion. And of course, we all know the answer to the question. How many more fishing rods do you need? One. The answer is always one. You always need one more. At least that's the answer I give my wife. Donald, thanks for the welcome back. I appreciate it. Oh, and Bob gave us the thumbs up for the showing the rod company there. So anyway, if anybody has any questions or comments, please shoot them my way. Otherwise, like I said, this was kind of a impromptu one today. You know, no warning or anything like that. I just wanted to let everybody know that we are back. We are going to be getting back to shooting soon, I hope. But I am going to get back beginning next Tuesday, getting back to doing our live shows every Tuesday and Thursday, where we air our older episodes. Every Tuesday is the Jackson kayak years, and every Thursday is the real throwbacks to the ocean kayak years. So the newer stuff Tuesdays, the older stuff on Thursdays. And I try to get, as a guest on those shows, someone who was on that shoot with me. Not always possible. You know, we all have different schedules and the whatnot. And some people, like some of the people from the ocean kayak days, I've honestly lost contact with a few of them. But some of them aren't even into kayak fishing anymore. So, you know, I can't always get the people on there, but you know, and if I can't, a lot of times we'll get Will to come on, Will Richardson, my videographer for most of the years of my TV show, up until I think the last 2 years. He was the only videographer I had. Now we kind of spread it out with a few different guys. But anyway, so that was it. If you want more information on the rod racks, let me know. And again, you know, their website, their website, actually, the web address, and I'll pop it back up there, is trailerracks.com. The funny thing is a lot of their products, is, if you can see there, are for landscapers, for their trailers, for securing their gear. And I guess somebody at the company enjoys fishing, so they decided to make fishing rod holders too. But because they're made for trailers, the stuff they make is burly, you know, stuff that's going to be bouncing around, heavy yard equipment. So I guess they went at the rod holders with the same attitude, because these things are burly. They're really tough. They're pretty impressive. So anyway, yeah, so it looks like it's trailerracks.com is where you can see them. I believe they have a Facebook page as well under I think they had one under Piranha Fishing Rod Racks. I'd have to go looking. But anyway, try that, trailerrodracks.com, or just look up Piranha Fishing Rod Racks if those things are something you're interested in. If you need some good rod storage, they certainly seem like a well-made product. And excuse me, $20 for the single wall rack is certainly affordable. $40 because it's 2 pieces for the overhead. Certainly seems like a pretty good deal. So anyway, unless somebody's got some questions, I'm going to sign off, and we will be back again next Tuesday with our live shows with live commentary of our older episodes of the show. Until then, if you are going out on the water, please remember always wear your PFD and keep your paddle right side up. Y'all take care. I'm going fishing.